John 1:37. Et audierunt eum duo discipuli loquentem, et secuti sunt Iesum. And 2 disciples heard him as he was speaking, and they followed Jesus. The interactions between John the Baptist, his disciples, and Christ continue here, as we're going to focus on the calling of those first few disciples. And there are a few interesting features to note here in the language that might initially confuse you, but don't be discouraged. We'll figure it out together. The first thing that we want to point out is audierunt. This could have been written audiverunt. But in a process called syncopation, this consonant, this V in the middle, drops out, and the word is shortened to audierunt. And that happens for linguistic reasons that we don't really need to go into, but suffice it to note that this is our third person plural, perfect, active, indicative. They heard him. Now, where had that original form come from, audiverunt, that we just spoke about? Well, it comes from the third principal part of audio, audire, audivi, and auditum, or auditus. That is a fourth conjugation verb, of course. And they heard him. Now look at this. Speaking, loquentem, we see our accusative ending here, and we remember our accusative singular masculine form of the personal pronoun here. These go together. They heard him speaking, in the act of speaking, and his speaking. This is a present active participle, remember, because it's a present participle. His act of speaking was contemporaneous with the action of the main verb in time, which is audierunt. So they heard him speaking at the moment of their hearing. And secuti sunt Iesum. This might confuse you at first. What we've got here is the verb sequor, sequi, secutus sum, and this is a deponent verb. What does deponent mean again? Say it with me. Passive in form, but active in meaning. So we've got to watch out for these deponents, lest they deceive us somehow. So if we know that the third principal part here, giving us our pattern for forming the perfect active system, is secutus sum, then we can look at secuti sunt and say, this, like audierunt, and of course this is what we would expect, is also third person plural, perfect, passive, indicative, but this difference here is really not a real difference. Again, it's passive in form, and we can parse it as passive, but actually it's active in meaning. So in all of the ways that matter, this is equivalent to audierunt in terms of the information that it's conveying and those about whom it is conveying information. They followed Jesus.